Hello everyone, this is Texant and welcome to today's video. Today's topic is all about discussing how to use Microsoft Word for beginners. I am on Microsoft Word and I wrote this simple phrase which says, "Welcome to this MS Word tutorial." Now what I can do on this phrase is apply some formatting. I could bold, let's say, a word like tutorial by going up there and pressing on the B icon, or using the shortcut which is Ctrl and B, and it bolded my text. Or italicize it by pressing on this icon or Ctrl and I, or underline my text by pressing on this icon or Ctrl and U. And as you can see, it underlined my text. I could add a line through my text by pressing on this ABC followed by a line on them. So I'll press on that, and as you can see, there's a line in tutorial. Now the font size of this phrase is very small. What I'll do is I'll select it all and go to this icon and press it multiple times. As you can see, this is the font size, and I could actually rectify it by writing what font size I want, let's say 28, and it grows a bit. Now I guess that's too big. Let me just decrease the font size, and I want it 24. Now that is very good. I could also change the font style by pressing on this arrow and choosing the font styles. Now I will choose this font style and I'll press on that, and as you can see, the font style changed. Also, I could change the color of a text. I'll select tutorial and I'll choose a color, let's say red, or I could just repress on this arrow and choose more colors. And I could choose what color I want. I'll cancel that for now. Let's say right now I want to reset tutorial to its normal format. What to do is I'll select it and go to this icon and press on that, and it will reset the format of tutorial. But tutorial is not matching the other words. How could I do that? Well, I could automatically select it and increase the font size, but instead, I could use the format painter. And what the format painter does is it copies the format of a word to another word. So let's say I'll select this word, press on format painter, and select tutorial. Boom. Tutorial is matching the other words. I could also apply some effects on my words. Let's say I'll select MS and I'll select some effects right over here. Let's say this one, and as you can see, I have some effects on this word. Let's say I want to highlight my phrase. I could select it and go to this icon over here, press arrow and select the color. So I'll say green. As you can see, I highlighted my text with green. And if I want it off, I'll go to this icon here and press no color. Let's say I want to list the goods that I want to buy from the grocery store. I could use a unordered list by using a bullet point like this. I'll write here milk, let's say, fruits, eggs, and yogurt. That is a unordered list using a bullet point. How about I select it and press on the arrow button over here, and I could choose some different aspects of my bullet point. Let's say this one. As you can see, it changed. Also, I could sort my list by following the alphabetic order. So I'll go to this icon and I'll press on that, and Microsoft will automatically detect what I am sorting. In my case, it's a text, and let's sort it by the ascending order. As you can see, we followed the alphabetic order E, F, M, and Y. Let's say if I said descending, and as you can see, we followed the opposite side of the alphabet, starting with Z all the way to A. I could do the same thing with numbers. I'll sort it by the ascending order. I'll press on this icon, ascending, and automatically Microsoft gets that I'm sorting out numbers. So 1 will start, 12, 24, 35. If I go again and sort it as a descending order, from the biggest number to the smallest. There's another type of listing, which is a ordered list, using numbers. Now I could go to this arrow and select the settings of my ordered list. Let's say I want it by alphabet, so I'll say A, B, and C. Right now, let's change the margin of our content. Let's say I want to write my content on the center. I could press on this line over here, and my text will start from the center. I'll write anything, and it starts from the center. Now if I want to reset it, I'll just go to this one, and it will start right over here. If I press this one, it will start on the right side of the page, right over here. Next, we have styling. So we could apply some headers and subtitles as well as some other things by pressing on this arrow to see what we have more options. So let's say I want to apply a header. I'll press on heading 1 and I'll type something like header 1, let's say. What I could do now, I could modify this header by right-clicking right over here on header 1, modify, and I could modify this header. Let's say I want to change the color to red, font style to Arial black, let's say, font size, let's say 48. I want to make it bold and italicize it as well as underline it, and I could just say OK. As you can see, this is the header 1 and I modify it. Now I'll add another header, this time a heading 2, and I'll write, let's say, header 2. And right now you know how to modify it by right-clicking on it and select modify. So I applied some settings on the header 2, and as you can see, this is the aspect of it. I'll press on OK, and as you can see, we have header 2 over here. Now further on in this video, we will apply something called table of content, and you'll see what these headers are important for. I could also find a word inside of my Word document. I could go to find and press on find, and this will appear here. I will write the word that I want to find. Let's say I want to find the word tutorial. I'll press OK, and as you can see, it will highlight it for me. That's because it found it. But let's say I said, find me this sentence. Well, no matches, and it didn't highlight it for me anything on my page. I could replace a word by another word by pressing on this replace icon. Let's say I want to replace tutorial by a course. So I'll write course. So find what tutorial and replace it with course. I'll say replace. It had been replaced by course. Let's go to the insert page, and as you can see, we have a lot of options to choose. The cover page is the page that will start on the first page. I could select what I want. Let's say I choose this one, and this is the first page that will appear. Next, let's say I want to add another page. To do that, I'll press on add blank page. So I have another page. I could also add a table. This table will have 3 rows and 3 columns. By pressing on this table icon, I could select how many rows I want and how many columns. And I'll press on left click, and as you can see, I have a table. I could write anything inside of it, and as you can see right now in front of you. And there is different settings to apply on a table. Let's say shading, and what shading will do is it will color the boxes. Let's say red. I could also apply some different settings or styles on this table. Let's press on this one. Look how it changed the table. This one will change it also, and I could press on this arrow to see more stuff. As you can see, we have a lot of settings or styles, let's say. So I could scroll down also and see different settings. I'll press on this one. As you can see, my table changed. I could insert a picture from files. I'll press on it, and I have this red background picture, so I'll insert it to my Word document. And as you can see, this format tab will appear, and we could apply some styles on this picture. Let's say I'll press on this arrow, and as you can see, we have different styles to apply on this picture. I'll apply this style, and look how it changed my picture's aspect. I could also apply some borders, that means the stroke of the picture, and I could fix the line weight. Let's say, okay, it's at 6 points, I will decrease it, and as you can see, it decreased a bit. I could apply some effects, and there is different settings. You could choose whatever you want. I could go to corrections and fix the lighting of my picture. I could increase the brightness as well as the contrast, or decrease the brightness and contrast. But I won't do anything, I'll just leave it as default. Definitely make sure to play around with these stuff. Also, let's apply some artistic effects. As you can see, we have some effects by Microsoft Word. Let's say I want to apply this artistic effect. I'll press on that, and as you can see, it changed my picture. Now if you want to reset your picture, all you need to do is press on this reset picture, and it has been reset. Other than inserting pictures, we could insert shapes. Let's say I want to insert this arrow shape, like so. And as you can see, the format tab appears, and I could apply some styles on my arrow. I could change the fill color. I want it red. Shape outline, well, I want it black. And I'll increase it a bit, weight, and I'll make it 4.5. As you can see right here. Shape effects, let's say shadowing, and apply some shadows. And as you can see, I fixed my arrow and became more beautiful. We could insert also some smart art, like list, process, cycle, and so on. All you need to do is choose what you want. For me, I'll go to list and choose, let's say, the first option. I'll press on OK. Let's say I'm doing the grocery store list. That's it, that's what I want from the grocery store. All I need to do is select that and delete it. And select that also and delete it. As you can see, we have a list of 3 items. We could also apply some charts. So we could choose whatever we want, like line, pie bar, and so on. Let's say I want to choose the line. I'll choose this default settings. As you can see, the charts appear and opens up Microsoft Excel, because with Microsoft Excel we could modify our chart. Let's say I'll add a Series 4. I'll write some random numbers. As you can see, we have a new line which is Series 4 and it is in the yellow color. I could add a chart title, let's say my chart. So I'll write my chart. And if I press on this plus button over here, let's choose data table, and we could have the table down here under that chart. Of course, you could choose whatever chart element you want. In the insert tab, we could actually mention the page number. So I'll press on this page number and we could see what kind of settings we will get. So we could get on the top, bottom, page margin, current position, and so on. If I choose the bottom of page and select this plain number 2, we'll get the page number at the bottom and the center. Next, we could add some headers. Let's say I'll write next page, and what I could do is select it, bold it, underline it, and italicize it. We could also add a footer. Let's say footer over here. Then I could press on the close header and footer. As you can see, we have the page number, header. If I scroll down, footer. We could also add some equations, mathematical equations, or some symbols, like the copyright symbol or the smiley face symbol. Let's go now to the design tab. I'll press on design, and as you can see, we have some different options. We have themes, and what I can do is I can select the theme of my page, and those themes will apply on all of my Microsoft Word pages. We could change the document's format by choosing one of those options and pressing on this arrow for more, and you can choose whatever you want. I'll leave it as it is. But what I like in this design tab is that we can add a watermark. I go to watermark over here and press on the arrow. We could add the built-in watermarks, but I'll create my own. So I'll press on customize or custom watermark, and this setting will appear in front of me. I could choose a picture, but for me I'll choose a text. The text will be, let's say, tutorial. And I could change the font, but I'll leave it as it is. As well as for the size and color, I could choose the layout. Let's leave it as it is and I'll press apply. And as you can see, tutorial is written in a diagonal way. Next, I could change the page color. Instead of white, I'll transform it to blue, as you can see right now. But if I want to undo what I did, I'll press Ctrl and Z. Also, we could apply a page border. Let's press on page border and select some styles. I could select different styles, and if I press on them, they will show me, or Microsoft will show me how they will look, or the aspect of the style. I could select a color, could make it red, and it will show me that it will become red. Let's choose this art option. As you can see, we have some different arts. Let me choose this cake option, and as you can see, the border of my page will be cake. So if I press OK, and as you can see, I have cake all over my Word document or Word pages. I could go to layout right now, and let's see what this layout could give us. We could fix the margin. If I choose narrow, as you can see, the text a bit indented to the back. If I want to transform back to normal, I'll press on normal. And you can just choose whatever you want over here. I could change the orientation. That means instead of having this tall page, I could make it horizontally. So I press on orientation and select landscape. And look at how it became. I'll re-select it as normal, and it became as a normal page. I could change the sizing of this page. I could choose legal, statement, executive, A3, A4, and so on. If I choose legal, it will become more taller, as you can see. Now I'll leave it as default. Also, I could apply some columns. I could apply 1 column, 2, 3, left and right. Let's apply 2. As you can see, if I write even more, let me write some dummy text. I wrote some dummy text. As you can see, we have two columns. Now if I press on columns and put 1, it will be a normal page. In the reference tab, we could add the table of content, and I could choose the style of this table. Let's say I'll choose the first one. As you can see, header 1 and header 2 appears and they are right over here. Watch this when I transform to read mode. As you can see, they become hypertext. If I press on header 1, it will take me to header 1. If I press on header 2, it will take me to header 2, but they are together so we can't know which one it's directing us. I could insert a biography. Let's say I'll choose one of those. I'll say this biography. It will be added over here. There is no source in this current document. I could add something else. John was a good man. At the end, on the review tab, that's where you will review your spelling mistakes when you finish definitely writing your Word document. We could go to spelling and grammar. If I press on that, I'll get spelling and grammar check is complete. Well, I don't have any errors, but let's say I write course without an E. I'll press on spelling and grammar, and as you can see, it suggests that course should be written with an E. I could change it or ignore it. Well, of course I'll change it. And it will add for me course with an E, and there's no fault in my document. Let's say I wrote tutorial and I select it. I want to know what are other words that are similar to this tutorial word. What I could do is press on thesaurus, and what the thesaurus will do is it will suggest other words that are similar to tutorial. We also have the word count. If I press on word count, it will give me how many words they have in my document, as well as pages, characters, paragraphs, and other informations. Alright, this is it on Microsoft Word for beginners. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Are you interested in programming? Check out this video about the top 5 easiest programming languages to learn.